Look at the track on that's all we just did.
Holy moly.
Oh, okay, so good morning guys. It's I think it's Tuesday the 15th of August. And Jared and I have just been struggling trying to get the anchor picked up, and we have had our ass completely kicked for the last, what, 45 minutes or so. And it's stuck. We can't even get any of the chain on deck. It's only, we're dealing with just the rope part of the road. You can't even get to where the shackle is to the chain, and we don't know what the hell is. We tried using the boat's engine to unseat the anchor, and just no luck. We tried backing down, we tried turning, we tried just brute force, but I'll say, here's my initial thoughts, and I'll ask you for yours, Jared. My initial thoughts are, I know about a dozen years ago, maybe 20 years ago, over on the Gulf side of the U.S., 3 young football players from the University of South Florida died, I think. All 3 died because they were in a power boat, and their anchor got stuck in pretty deep water, and they got clever, and they hitched the anchor line to the stern of the boat, and they took off at high speeds, and they ended up flipping the boat, inverting it, and I know at least 2 of them died. 1 may have survived. I've known other stories where people have broken their bow pulpits because we got to a point where, and I know I felt it from back here, it's easy to see because I'm looking at the horizon, but I drive forward against the line, and I'm turning as well, and everything is fine, and I'm making about half a knot up to 1 knot charging forward, and then I feel I can see the bow dip down tight, hard, and then the boat just spins around the anchor. And so my initial thought is that because of the tidal cycle, I mean, how many times a day do you get a tidal cycle? Every 6.5 hours, right? It goes from going in to going out, and every time the boat is tending to the current, not to the wind. And I think we just have maybe 1 million wraps of chain around the road, and that's why we can't pick it up. I think that's really what we're looking at. And I had my flashback to being in Jacksonville, where I ended up in a similar type situation, but I only anchored 1 night, and I got the anchor line wrapped around the keel, and I was broadside to the current, and I started dragging there, right into the railroad bridge. Almost hit it. So, what do you think, Jared? Any other thoughts?
I think we're either on a big boulder or a sunken ship.
Maybe it's a pile of gold ingots.
Because I've never seen anything like it.
No, I haven't either. So
I've always was able to pull the road all the way up to the chain, tie the chain to the cleat, and then pull the anchor out with the boat. But never have I seen where you can't even get the road out of the water.
Okay, so what we could have here, this is the surface of the water, and here is Tautog with a mast, and I've got an anchor line going down. It's rope, and then it connects. It's rope here, and then it connects to a chain. And usually it just lies on the bottom of the water like this, and somewhere over here the chain is attached to the anchor in the mud. And that's kind of what I thought I had, but what we're looking at now is the chain or the rope is going straight down under high tension, which is unusual. I mean, we can pull and pull to the point that we're actually deflecting the position of the bow downward, so we think the rope is snagged on a thing, some object down here. We don't know what it might be. It seems to be snagging probably the chain, because I have enough rope on deck to account for all the rope I put out, just about. So we can't quite see the chain, but we're quite sure we're at the point where the end of the chain is under the boat, or maybe even making a few links in the upward direction, but it's snagged on something. So don't quite know what we got, and we won't know until we get down there and look. And if you want to talk about options, option 1, of course, is to always do nothing at all. And I guess I'm doing that right now, but it's really not a viable option. At some point, I have to make a decision. And so certainly exhausting resources such as getting Boat US out here and see if he can bust it free somehow. That's possible. Another option is, me going down when the sun is higher in the sky and I can see better. I'll swim down there and see if I can put my eyeballs on the problem. But it's about 15 feet down, so that hurts my ears. And I have a hard time clearing my ears anymore. I've already got tinnitus bad enough, so I'm a little worried about that. I could hire a commercial diver. That would be an option. And commercial divers, if it were me, I would charge probably $500-600 if you want me to go down there for 2 or 3 hours to untangle an anchor chain or something. That doesn't sound easy, and I don't think I'd be too keen on it, so I'd charge money. I'd charge several $100s for sure. Another option is to just cut the line and tie my anchor ball to it and make it just a permanent fixture and let other people moor to it and have a permanent mooring. I guess I could do that, but that means abandoning my chain and my anchor down there, and that's about $1,000 worth of kit. So we don't quite know yet enough information to know what decision I have to make. If I'm still here 24 hours from now and no attempts to break the anchor loose have worked, and we can't even get down there to swim or dive on it enough to even look at it, then at some point I'm going to have to just abandon it, you know. Okay, so Jared and Jeff are now leaving. Lionel and Michelle were just here, and they went back to their boat to get dive gear. And I'm going, no, there's no need for diving just yet. Because the sun is pretty low in the sky. As hot and humid as it is, the sun's pretty low, so it's going to be very difficult to see down there. In addition to that, the Boat US guy, I got him on the phone. He's going to be here in about half an hour, and he says he has a few tricks that he might be able to use to help free it. There he is. Twice in a year, Towboat US coming to save my ass, which tells me get out of rivers. That's where I'm at, and that's the root cause of this shit. Got Towboat on one side of me. He's holding me and he's controlling the boat. Lionel and Michelle. So for everybody who's watching the video, Lionel,
if it's easier for you, you can come over to my boat and I can pick your gear up into my boat and you can climb up the back step.
There you
go. So these are the two guys. We helped their boat the other day. Back during the hurricane, they saved the other boat, and today they're saving me. So it all comes around and goes around, I guess. I'm ready whenever you are, Skipper. Hey, sir. I'll hold you back here. Okay, I'll head easy. Thank you, guys. I owe you. Now I owe you. Okay, so what happened was Lionel put on his scuba diving gear and untangled my anchor chain. The chain was fouled in 4 spots. There was a slab of concrete with a bunch of pieces of rebar sticking out. I think he got it on camera too. But I got
free. You're free.
But they were going to kick me out. And my boat wasn't really fit to cross oceans yet, and it was a new boat for me. So you don't just jump onto the North Atlantic on a brand new boat you've never sailed. Anyway.
Glad they didn't.
Nope, and I'm glad you follow me in here, so I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
I was down to about a foot below the keel on the way out, so all right, take care of yourself, buddy.
You too, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Back in Faber Cove. And I probably should have anchored over there. But this is all right. And that's Tice from Towboats US. So the question is, what went wrong? What went wrong is that the anchor chain was fouled on pieces of rebar that was embedded in pieces of concrete on the seabed in that anchorage. So you can curse at the person who put it there, but if you think this is the only place in the world where people throw construction debris in the water, you're probably wrong. So it's a shame they did it where people anchor their boats, but that's what they did. And so what saved us was Lionel, the same Lionel who saved the fleet back during Hurricane Nicole, and the same Lionel and Michelle whose boat was drifting away the other day, and I was able to participate in helping that boat. And so it's very illustrative of the fact that as a cruiser, sailboat, boating, living community, we got to stick together. That's the bottom line. So some really good people. I think that's really what I remark upon all the time. Lionel saw what the situation was, and he went back to his boat, put on his dive gear, and came back. And I had already sent him a message saying, no. If we need to dive, I'll go rent some gear or buy my own gear for the change and go dive it myself. Because I am a scuba diver. I'm advanced open water qualified, but I just don't have any gear aboard. But Lionel went down in probably 30 minutes of diving, and he was up, and he had cleared, I think, 5 different instances where the chain was fouled on rebar. It's like, oh brother, and I don't even know what to say. So anyway, I'm thankful. That's what I am. That's what I know. I know what to say. I'm just thankful. Hey guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate your comments as always. And as they say, all's well that ends well. And it did end well. The purpose of getting underway for that event was to come into a boatyard, and I'm in the boatyard as I'm speaking right now. It's currently Sunday evening, and I'll be launching tomorrow. So we did some work, and that'll be a separate episode, of course. But again, many thanks to Lionel and Michelle and to Jared for helping me. He was kind of crewing for the trip over here. I mean, most of the viewers know that I single hand all the time, but you know, some of us bums on boats, we just love any excuse to jump on boats and do something. So Jared was crewing with me, and I was thankful for that too. It was a good company. So it's all good. I'll close this video with a quick blurb about just another squall, and some of the funny things that we do out here in the anchor fleet. I guess the question that needs to be asked is, once I get back in the water, what are we going to do next? Well, I suppose for this coming week, we're just going to watch hurricanes, because there's one, a tropical storm, or I don't know that it's even named at the moment, is kind of going to pass south of me and go across Florida, we think, into the Gulf of Mexico. That one's going to be just a couple of days away. There is one on the west coast of going up Mexico and going to hit San Diego, which is kind of odd for San Diego to get hurricanes, but it does happen. And there's 2 more in the Atlantic. So you summarize that by saying maybe not a good time to go plunging out into the deep Atlantic Ocean, and just put yourself in a position where you're getting trouble. So a hurricane strategy, that's really what it's all about right now. That's what it's all about. So with that, stand by. They'll get a video out very quickly in another day or 2, I swear, regarding the work in the boatyard, at least a trip over here, and then getting us hauled out. And that'll be followed by, probably a second video showing the work that I actually did. So it's nothing really earth-shaking, but it's still kind of cool to see. So, guys, you take care. Appreciate it always. Take care. Bye-bye. Yeah, the rain's almost done, I think. I mean, I can see well into Fort Pierce now. We'll be done with the rain in 5 minutes.
My own boogers.
All that junk in the but the back is so clean. All the junk up in the bow. Oh, okay, it's a different kind of pump. And that's got a battery?
Yeah.
Is it like a solar power thing, or is it a...
Yeah, it runs on three
Okay. Okay, and it's not like I don't serve water on board, you know. Wouldn't you rather have a beer? Oh, this stopped raining about 20 minutes ago. Just made a cup of hot tea. That's a beautiful sunset.